I am architect Ezenwa Chukwudi. I'm the co-founder, the chairman and CEO of GSS Group. I always wanted to be an architect. It wasn't so easy insisting on it. But I think everything in my life at that time was if I was pointing hands at architecture, because I was addicted to drawings. Like, I always drew comics. You know, comics were so easy to draw with different storylines, and they were also very interesting. As a kid, I never knew what it was, but because I was addicted to drawing, like, there was this relationship between myself and my computer, myself and my pen. Right from secondary school, I did a lot of comics in fact, my first business was a comic company, AD Comics. And this comic company was at JS1. It was a partnership between myself and a friend of mine. And from JS1, I used to draw these comics and rent them to people. Comic was so interesting and also addictive to those that were reading these comics. So there was this addiction that I had from people reading that made me so consistent in drawing and drawing and drawing. So at some point I was addicted to drawing. So the whole thing made people say, okay, you'd be an artist or an architect, because I was very good with drawing houses. But at the same time, everybody always made it sound like there was no money in these things. But we were renting these comics and making money from it. So I was like, if I could make money in JS1, 20 naira per view, 15 naira per view, why would someone say there's no money in architecture? So I really believed in it, and I always knew I would be an architect. Yeah, the point where the architecture was so obvious was, okay, first of all, to start with, growing up as a kid, I wasn't exposed to anything luxury. I never even got into a plane, a local flight, even in Nigeria. So there was a restriction to just where I was born, which was Port Harcourt. And so there was just one gift my dad gave me, or just gave to the family, and all that was the reason I know that actually propelled this whole architecture thing. As a kid, he bought this computer and it was just there for everybody to use. Although I colonized it, because upon getting on the computer, there was so much. I met this software called Paint. I don't know if it's still there. Just a random software that just had lines and colors. But that software actually brought out so much in me. Like, it brought out so much of creativity. I was always designing houses. Like, I was an architect as a kid. I was about 8, right? Then we used to use CDs to download these games and all. So there's this game called Grand Theft. That was a Grand Theft Vice City. And for people that know this video game very well, the game is expressive, So without traveling out and without getting so much access to a lot of things, I saw too much in that game, because the game is like you get to steal cars and go on missions and all. So I saw all kinds of cars. I had access to cars inside this video game. I saw all kinds of houses, like skyscrapers. You go to club, you have your own mansion, So I could just see what the beauty of this world was inside my computer. So I think it expanded my creativity, my knowledge. Like, my peers were just seeing the Port Harcourt where we're growing up, or the little space we were all in. But I was seeing the world from my computer through that game, the video game I was always playing. I downloaded that game and all. So it just made me love houses. And that love for houses got me addicted to drawing houses. I kept on drawing more than what I was seeing. And that was how it continued till the point where my mom was saying she was scared because of the addiction, but my dad was excited, and he used the word he used the word architecture. The first time he saw this, he said, this is pure architecture. I will read architecture, and I liked the word and I fell for it. That was it. GSS Group is a product of partnership. And from the inception, from way back primary school, my first company was a partnership between myself and Dongo, a classmate of mine. That's the comic company, which we made money from. That was where I made my first money from. I know, as little as it was. But that experience taught me a lot about partnership. I didn't know so much about football because I spent more time drawing. But one of my comics was centered around football, just the way you have these super strikers. Then we had Bugs FC. Now this Bugs FC, because I didn't even know any player, my partner's job was to be bringing the faces and names of footballers and educating me more on other football teams while I did the drawing. So, partnership just strikes a balance. It just makes you get to this. It puts what you don't have and then you get it from your partner, and it gives a balance. So it was a balance. I was doing the drawing. He was bringing the content, as in the faces, like adding up to the content. So that's the balance partnership brings. Partnership just brings a balance between two people, and then you get to augment each other. So it continued that way until I got done with secondary school, got to the university. In year one, I started this painting business. I used to paint rooms for people. And when I paint rooms, houses, I didn't do it alone. It was still a partnership. And it was a company unregistered too. Ken was the name of the architect, my classmate, and myself. And we came together and we were painting people's houses and painting people's rooms, Because it was the both of us, we were able to get more jobs and we were able to deliver faster. Then there were so many ideas. We made painting look so packaged, different patterns, different concepts. We went as far as branding. After having a brand name, we went to start putting publications on different media spaces. There's this magazine, Campus Amebo, then that we paid for an advert on that page, and then it brought more clients. So partnership made me always it made us have room to attract more jobs, because when two people are actually chasing, it increases the numbers. And from there I got into showbiz, because I was all about getting more jobs to increase the numbers, power and multiplication. And in showbiz, I had this partner, Pascal, where we had GMX Entertainment. And you could imagine the kind of events we were able to do as a year one students. We were bringing everybody in school together. And they were all paying gate fees to come for our events. And it was big, it was easier because we were two doing this. Even the Bible says, when one chase, we chase 1,000. When two chase, they chase 10,000. So it's continued that way, and it has worked for me. I believe partnership brings about continuity. It increases the level of structure and stability, because when you're not there, the partner covers up. Even if something happens and all, there is a more professional trail to continuity. So I always believe in partnership. Showbiz for me, it wasn't inbuilt. Obviously, it wasn't inbuilt, but it was just eventual. Things happened and led to me getting fully involved in showbiz. When I was in school, in pre-science, I was NFCS president. That's like the Catholic Church Association, and it actually made me very popular in school. So it was more like a conversion of that popularity. When I now got into year one, I now converted that same popularity to something that was financially, something that made me make money out of. So showbiz was the thing. I actually started hosting events, and same people, same crowd, same people that got to know me and all. I actually made them come for these events, and that was how the showbiz happened. Then I had to start studying publicity, trying to know. It wasn't easy as an architecture student to be involved in all these things. The architecture needs so much of your time, so much concentration. So these are the things that made me know how to multitask. Like I just always wanted to do more than one thing because the energy was now there. I was already used to doing so many things, and that's why there are so many companies, there are so many things going on under the conglomerate, and there's the ability to still carry them out. Like you focus on this one, you follow up this one, you following up so many people with different ideas and different goals at the same time.